I have a new goal in my life that I did not ever think would be something I would want to do until the other day I saw on Twitter Stephen A. Smith said that, hey, the debate chair is open. And he left an open invitation for people to come on and do First Take with him. And I would love to sit in that chair. I would love to be on the show. And I don't know the right way to get onto the show. Like, I don't know what I need to do or what I need to say. I don't know what strategy I should take on. I almost, choked my words there. And this is the reason why I don't love the TV world, is that you have to prove yourself to a producer or like on YouTube. Guess what? The audience can decide. If your content is good, people will like it and follow it and watch it. On TV and in movies and any kind of stuff like that, you have to have some boss decide that person's good enough to come on the show. So I don't know if I will pass that qualification. I will say I have worked with ESPN before. I've worked for ESPN. I've met Kirk Herbstreit. I did College Game Day. I've met Yogi Roth. I've met I've met all kinds of broadcasting people throughout the world. I have never broadcasted with them. Of course, I was a cameraman, right? I was a lowly cameraman who worked my way up the ladder, and hey, here I am in front of a camera instead of behind it. But I will say, I think Stephen A. Smith and I. So my first thought when I hear that he has an open invitation to the show is actually, I think we'd be a really weirdly good pair together. He is very loud, and I say it as jokingly crazy. And I also am passionate about what I talk about. I think he's more performer. I'm a little more analyst, a little more detailed. He does know basketball much better than I do. I know football. I know way better than Stephen A. Smith knows football. But I think we'd actually make a very good episode together because him and I complement each other very well. And I just want to let people know, if you think that sounds fun, me on ESPN's First Take, and maybe you've never heard of me before. Maybe you're like, I saw this guy made a video about Stephen A. Smith. Well, hey, I think it'd be fun to go on there and debate with him. I really want to debate with him. And I think I would challenge him because he likes to yell over people. And I'm like, dude, you can yell all you want. I'll wait till you're done screaming and we can have a real conversation. I think it'd be very exciting and fun. And I don't know what I don't know the right approach, because maybe what it takes to get a producer to say yes to me is to create controversy. Because the one thing that TV producers and people on ESPN, the language they speak is the language of views and watchers. And if they think that me coming on means they're going to get a lot of people to watch the show, then I'll make it on. So here's what I ask. If you think that sounds like a good idea, go harass Stephen A. Smith on Twitter and be as... I don't know. I don't want to send an angry mob after him. Certainly, he has a way bigger audience than me. But I think I would actually challenge him a lot intellectually and say, Stephen, that's a bad idea. That's silly. He can scream and do theater. I will wait patiently till he's done with his diatribe. And if you want that to happen, you need to flood his Twitter. One tweet is not enough. You need to send 10 to 20 tweets. Literally flood if he posts a tweet on Twitter, you have to flood the replies with "Get Zach Schaumler on ESPN's First Take." And I want to go on. I think it'd be fun. Hey, comment on Instagram stuff too. It's just I've already been way more successful than I ever thought I would be. I live in Hawaii. I have a job doing what I love, truly, and that to me, I've already made it. I'm not that well off. But I love my life. I love my career. If it never gets better from here, if I always live in a tiny apartment recording with a weird background that's kind of ugly, I will be happy because I love what I do every day. And I'm not really attached to, I don't need to go on First Take to be like, finally, validation. I just think it'd be fun to have a conversation with Stephen A. Smith. I really think that my ability to challenge him and have conversation with him would be very, very fascinating. And I just honestly, humbly, I think some part of me says I should tell the world, I'm going to go make him look silly. I'm going to embarrass Stephen A. Smith. Maybe that's the promo. They take that soundbite and promote it that way. But I also don't know that that's right, because I actually think we would have a really fun intellectual conversation, and I could challenge his beliefs and views. And I really would appreciate that. Early on during my broadcasting career, I looked at Stephen A. Smith and copied what he was doing. I used to say stuff because I thought it would make people angry, and I used to really pick a side. And Strong Opinion Sports is a very provocative name for my show. And I realized I don't want to be like Stephen A. Smith, right? I actually decided that sometimes there is no right answer. Like sometimes the real strong answer you can, or the real strong thing you can say is that there is no right answer. And topics are way more nuanced than people realize. When a trade happens, sometimes there's a winner to a trade, and it's one team is, a buffoon and really stupid, and one team got a deal where they fleeced the other team. But sometimes both teams wins. And I've really tried to adapt my broadcasting style to being a lot more objective and fair, and not necessarily just picking a side, but sometimes saying, hey, there is no clear black and white answer here. So I just really, truly believe that I would have a good time, having a conversation on television, on camera with Stephen A. Smith. It would be an honor to meet him. I think they record the show in New York. I've actually never watched First Take, but you see the clips everywhere. And I see his comments often in text form on Instagram. Like, Stephen A. Smith said blank, and then insert any ridiculous statement. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't do any research. Like, it drives me nuts. But my fiance has never been to New York. I would love to go back to New York. I've been there one time. It's an amazing city. I'll pay for myself to go. But hey, if anybody out there, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And I figured I should put this out to the world and try to make it happen. I would love to go on First Take and debate Stephen A. Smith.